हरि ओम। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम शः। ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। भवानी शंकरो वन्दे श्रद्धाविश्वासरूपिणो याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगताम् अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम नमः शिवाय 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 ओम नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। So So we are seeing the 17th chapter of Gita. It begins with Arjuna's questions about Shraddha. So Bhagwan tells about these three types of Shraddha, and we carry the samskar of our Shraddha from our past life. So those who have Sattvic Shraddha, they worship the Devatas. Those who have Rajasic Shraddha, they worship the Rakshas and the Yaksha. And those who have Tamasic Shraddha, they worship the Preta and Bhuta Ganas. Thereafter, Bhagwan talks about three types of ahar, and he will also talk about three types of yajna, dana, and tapas. So this is our sadhana. First we have to make our Shraddha sattvic, and simultaneously we should take sattvic ahar, do sattvic yajna, do sattvic dana, and do sattvic tapas. If we can do this, all this sadhana, then it will purify our mind and make us fit for attaining moksha. So the three types of ahar Bhagwan described in detail. The sattvic ahar is the best. Sattvic ahar is that which increases our ayu, life, and purity of the mind, and gives strength and good health, and gives great joy, which has got rasa in it, and which lasts longer in our body and gives pleasing to our heart. So such food is sattvic, and it is liked by those who have sattvic sattva guna in them predominantly. So mainly Bhagwan talks about the food which nourishes our body. Not only it nourishes our body, but nourishes our mind, our senses also. But apart from food, we should also take care of all other things which we take in through our senses. The Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha also should be made, taken only those which are sattvic. Therefore there is this famous Shanti mantra which we chant, ki bhadram karne vishnuyam devaha bhadram pasye makshabhirya jatraha. That may I hear what is auspicious with my ears, may I hear what is auspicious with my eyes. So when we take care of the intake, then it helps in purifying our mind. But then we should also work towards removing the negativities which are there within, mainly the kama, krodha, and lobha. And in order to remove them, we have to put forth effort. And the effort mentioned in our Shastra is of yajna, dana, and tapas. If we properly, with full faith, with sattvic shraddha, if we perform this yajna, dana, tapa karma, then it will purify our antakarana, and in that pure antakarana, we will be able to recognize ourselves as we are, as Brahma. So now, from the following verses, from verse number 11, Bhagwan talks about the three types of yajna. So let us chant verse number 11. Afalakankshabhir yajnaha vidhidrishto yajyate yashtavyameveti manaha samadhaya sa sattvikaha. Bhagavan says that this yajna is called sattvik, which is performed with afalakangshibihi, without having akanksha for the result of the yajna. Means with nishkam bhava, one performs that yajna with the attitude that this is my kartavya, I have to do it. With nishkam bhav, one performs this yajna, and vididrushto, and according to the procedure mentioned in the shastra. The yajna is performed as per the guidance of the scripture, as according to our own adhikar. The yajna is performed vididrushto ya ijjate yashtavyameveti, that it should be performed as a duty, as a kartavya. Yajna swarupa nirvartanam eva karyamiti, that to perform this yajna itself is my duty, not to gain any particular result. Manas samadhaya, for the purity of the mind. For purity of the mind, and not to gain any external result. One performs this yajna, then it is called sasatvikaha. That yajna is called satvik yajna. Okay. So let us contemplate on this. See, there are 5 types of yajnas are mentioned, which one has to perform daily. As those who are having that adhikar, they need to perform these 5 types of yajna. See, the Shastras say that when we are born as a human being, we are indebted to few beings when we are born. They are called rina. So there are 5 rina debts which we have to repay when we are born. See, to be born as a human being is a very rare phenomenon. I, as a jiva, have been traveling in so many different life forms. There are different crores of different life forms are there, and all of us must have traveled in them in our so many past lives. And finally, due to our good karma, we are born as a human being, and by the blessings of Bhagwan, we get a human birth. So when we are born, there are so many beings who bless us, because of whose blessings we are born. One is that our own parents. If our parents had not given me birth, then I would not be here in this world. So my mother, my grandmother, my father, then their parents, then again their parents. So the whole, my parents and my whole lineage, the ancestors. So one is very much indebted to the ancestors. See, our ancestry goes back to some rishis, according to our gotra. So that those rishis are there, like Vishwamitra Gotra or Vashishta Gotra or Gautam Gotra. So many gotras are there. So from those rishis, our whole ancestor, the lineage comes all the way to our own parents, and we are born in that particular lineage. So we are indebted to all those ancestors, that they gave us a chance to be born in their family. See, Jiva in the previous life maybe a human being, or maybe in any other life forms. And even if he was a human being, he or she might be in some other ancestry also. So we are born in a particular family. That is also our karma only, good karma. So we are indebted to our parents and our grandparents and great-grandparents and the whole ancestors, all the ancestors. So that is called Pitru Runa, a debt towards the ancestors. But when we are born, before we are born, there are these devatas who are taking care of this world. The Surya Devata is there, the Agni Devata is there, the Wind Devata is there, the Earth Devata is there. So many Devatas. And then these Devatas also, they reside in our senses, our Karmendriyas, our Jnanendriyas, our Antakarana. So, without the help of those Devatas, we will not be able to take birth. They are constantly taking care of us. Even before our birth, they are there taking care of this world. And after our birth, they are there helping us at every level. Because all our senses, mind, etc. can work only by the blessings of these Devatas. So we are indebted to those Devatas. That is called Deva Rina. Then we are born in a family. We have the parents had gained that understanding of our tradition, of dharma, of the rituals, of the teachings. And this has come from the great Rishi Munis, who are taking care of the Shastra Parampara, beginning from Ishvara. So many Rishi Munis have done so much of tapas and sadhana to study the Shastras and to spread the message of the Shastras to others. So we are indebted to them, to all these rishis. Without their blessings, we will not be, now we are sitting here and studying this Bhagavad Gita. Without their blessing, we would not be studying this. We will not be in touch with any of the scriptures or any of our dharma granthas. So one is indebted to the rishis. So it's called Rishi Rina. Then when we are born, we also not only get the blessings from our own parents, but our relatives, our friends and other human beings. Without their support, we will not be able to live in this world. There are so many humans who have made life so nice in this world. The great scientists, the great economists, the great people of the past who have worked towards making the world better. Also in the present times, the different people who are there, who are taking care of the different facilities which are required for us, even to get simple water in our tap. lakhs of people must be working to make this possible. We go out on the road, so many people have worked to make those roads, the electricity, the schools, the colleges. So we get blessings from other human beings. So we are indebted to them. That is called Manushya Rina. But not only human beings, we are also indebted to other creatures, the animals, the birds, the plants. Without the plants, we won't be able to breathe proper oxygen. Without the animals, without them, we won't be able to survive properly in this world, because all of them are required to maintain the balance of this world. So we are indebted to the other creatures. So that is called Bhuta Rina. So we have this 5 debts, Rina it's called. So Deva, then Rishi, then Pitru Rina, then Manushya Rina and Bhuta Rina. And we have to, every day we have to do a yajna, certain ritual mentioned in the Shastra. If those who are adhikar for the ritual which is mentioned in the Shastra, they should do that. Otherwise, we have to express our gratitude towards all of them and do their seva as much as we can. So, Deva Yajna, to be free of the Rina of the Devatas. Then we should do Rishi Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Manushya Yajna and Bhuta Yajna. See, the Devatas, they are pleased when we do the ritual as guided in the Shastra, the Agnihotra Karma, etc. When it is done in the morning and evening, Sandhya. It's called Sandhya Vandanam. Sandhya means the confluence. When the day comes to an end and the night begins, there is that confluence which is called Sandhya in the evening. And when the night ends and the day begins at dawn, that is also Sandhya. So the dawn and dusk, the Sandhya Kal. During that time, traditionally, the Shastras say, you do worship for these Devatas. So the simple ritual is there for, in the Vedas it's mentioned that you kindle the fire and offer the ahuti for the Devata, the Indra Devata, the Prajapati Devata. Or in the morning as well as evening, we have to light a lamp in our puja room where we have the image of the Ishvara, Bhagwan, in whatever form you are worshipping, the Panchadeva, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Shakti or Ganesha. One should put that, do simple ritual, diya, offer flower, agarbatti, diya, some naivedya, do namaskar. And evening also we do namaskar to Bhagwan, chant his name, sing some stotra, mantras, do namaskar, remember all the devatas, the Surya Devata, the Agni Devata and other devatas, the devatas who are present in our body. Just offer your gratitude to those devatas. That is the Deva Yajna. The devatas are pleased because we acknowledge their presence and we acknowledge their the great things they have given to us. They just do it actually. They are also doing seva of that Paramatma. But we should offer our gratitude towards all these devatas and towards Ishvara. Just as somebody does something to us in this world, we say thank you, we are very grateful. So one should express one's gratefulness to these devatas. That is very important. Otherwise, we will become ungrateful. To be ungrateful is not good. And we can't repay them with something. So we can express our gratitude towards them. And also the ritual, those who are qualified, when they do the ritual, the ahuti which we offer in that fire, it nourishes those devatas. But those who are not qualified, those who are not adhikar for that, can offer their namaskar. Remember those devatas, offer the namaskar to them. That itself will please those devatas. So devatas, then the rishis, we have gained all that we follow as dharma and then which leads to moksha. All this knowledge has come from the Shastra, but the Shastra knowledge is maintained and propagated and spread all over by the rishis. If the rishis were not there, we would not have gained anything. So we should be very, very grateful to them. And by studying the scriptures and sharing the scriptural knowledge with others, we can express our gratitude towards them. By learning the Shastras and sincerely following them in our life, we express our gratitude towards those rishis. They feel happy. They say, oh, I am so happy this person, this jiva is born in my kula. This person has gained this human life and he is making good use of it. He is learning the Shastras and sharing it with his own family members, his children, his friends, neighbors. So the rishis feel very happy. We get the blessings of the rishis. And when we get the blessings of the rishis, the Shastras, the secret of the Shastras get revealed. Otherwise it remains hidden. Otherwise, even after struggling and trying to understand, we don't understand. But when we get the blessings of these rishis, the Shastras, they reveal their secret. Also by worshipping the devatas, all our senses, our mind, intellect, everything becomes helpful for us to walk on this path. The senses become nourished, the mind is nourished, and it helps. Then we have this Pitru Yajna. We are indebted to our ancestors, our parents. So doing seva of our parents regularly, without expectation of anything in return. See, all this karma we should do without expecting anything in return, as our expression of our gratitude. So regular seva of our parents and those who have died and gone, to do all the necessary rituals for them. The Shraddha karma, whatever tarpan and whatever has to be offered according to the Shastra should be done for the ancestors. One should express our deep gratitude towards them. So that is, and also to have children and to teach the same tradition to them. so that they also continue this beautiful lineage. That is uh, our depth towards these ancestors. Uh, we can repay their debt by having children and teaching them those same values which we have learned from our fathers and forefathers, so that the beautiful tradition continues. If we break the tradition, if we behave badly, if we don't teach our own children the good values of life, the dharma, the shastra, then our own parents and our ancestors become very unhappy. They say, "Oh God, this fellow born in our kula is not behaving properly." So they feel very sad, and their blessings will not be there in our life. But if we please them, then they will bless us. Then every step in our life, everything we do, their blessings will be there, because they are there. See, nobody dies, they are always there, but in different form, in different lokas. The whole world, whole cosmos, as we have seen in the 15th chapter, is all connected. It's like one huge tree. Everyone is connected to everyone else. Nowadays we have this mobile and all, we are connected to everyone on this world. All those who have the mobile, we are connected to everyone. We can contact anyone can contact us. In the same way, all the beings are connected to all the beings. So we should not say that, oh, they are dead and gone, so who cares? No, they are there. So one should do this Pitru Yajna. Then Manushya Yajna. We have to take care and do seva of other human beings. So some Atiti comes in our house, you take care of that Atiti, and do something for your neighbors, for the society, for other human beings with Nishkam Bhav. This social work, seva, somebody is not well, take care of that person. Somebody is hungry, give food. Somebody is having difficult time during winter, so give them shawl, give them kambal. So do seva, Nishkam Bhav, not for some name, fame, or some popularity, or with this that I have given, take photograph and publish it in the newspaper or like that. No, with Nishkam Bhav. Because it is seva, it is not helping, it is not this, we are doing seva, with that seva attitude. Not attitude that I am high and all of them are low, so I am trying to uplift them. No, with the attitude of seva. Even a poor person, a person who may not have any facilities or any resources, one should do seva of that person with that attitude that he is superior, he is great, and that Ishvara is there in that person, and I am doing that seva. So Manushya Yajna it is called. Then Bhuta Yajna, we should do something for the welfare of other beings, plants, trees, animals, birds, insects. Whatever we cook, whatever we have, we should share with them. If the tree is there in our garden or in our area, some plants are there, some herbs are there, so one should take care of them, water them, feed them. Some dogs are there, some wild, some other animals are there who are hungry, who are there in the streets and all. One should take care of them, give them food, give them water to drink, take care of them if they are sick. Birds can be taken care of, during summer and all, keep some water for them so that they can drink. Nowadays with our these high-rise buildings and other structures and all, the birds and all don't get natural place to stay also. Yeah? The trees are getting cut and also it becomes difficult for them. So they also should be taken care of. Little insects, ants, one should give something to the ants also. So that's called Bhuta Yajna. And that attitude, if this has to be done daily. So when we do this daily, automatically we will develop that love and kindness towards all creatures. And we will become free of our debt towards all of them, the rina. So nishkam bhav, without expecting anything in return. Because I have got everything without any expectation from everyone. My ancestors, the devatas, everyone gives without expecting anything in return. So I should also work without any expectation in return. So that is called yajna. So Bhagavan says, afalakangshibihi yajnaha, without expecting anything in return, vidhi drishto, according to vidhi. All these yajnas are prescribed in the scriptures. Systematically you do this, you do this. But if we are not entitled for that, also we should do. Means we should express our gratitude towards them. We should express our gratitude towards the devatas, to our rishis, to our ancestors, towards other human beings and other creatures. So, just as it was said that we are born with our shraddha. So this ritual, this culture, this tradition also comes in our family. So we are born in a family, we see our parents living in a particular way, they also worship in a particular way. So we just follow them and do as they are doing. And slowly we also learn and it helps to purify our mind. So yashtavyameveti manas samadhaya. So to please our mind means to purify our mind with that attitude that I am doing it just as a kartavya, not for gaining any benefit from it. With this attitude, when these yajnas are done, then they are called sattvic yajna. This is our sadhana. This has to be done. Okay? Then Bhagavan talks about Rajasic Yajna and Tamasic Yajna. See, this Yajna itself, if it is done differently, then it becomes Rajasic. And if you do it very badly, it is Tamasic. So if one is doing Tamasic, then slowly converted into Rajasic and then Sattvic Yajna. So what is Rajasic Yajna that Bhagavan now describes in the 12th verse? He says, Abhisandhaya tu phalam dambhartamapi chaivayata ijjate bharata shrestha tan yajñam viddhi rajasam. Bhagavan says, one who does this yajna with the intention to get some result, with an ulterior motive, keeping an eye on the result. Abhisandhaya tu phalam. May do the puja of the devatas also expecting something more from the devatas. They are already giving, expecting something from the devatas. Or if they are doing the worship of the rishis, munis also, then expectation from our teachers, expectation from the rishis, or even if one does seva of their parents, they do it with expectation, so that the parents get something from the parents, more from the parents. So, dambhartham also, those who do this karma with dambha, as a hypocrisy, to show off, to just show to the world that, oh, I am such a great person, good person. So with dambha, dambhartham api chaiva yata, ijjate bharata shrestha, he bharata shrestha, O Arjuna, best among the Bharata Kula, those who do this yajna in this way, yajnam vidhi rajasam, those yajnas are called rajasic yajna. That yajna will be rajasic. Expecting something, doing with ulterior motive, then that it spoils that beauty of that yajna. Then it is not gratitude. Then still we are doing something, we expect something. But when it is done without expecting anything, expression of our gratitude, pure. Like we say thank you to someone, na? Without expecting anything, because that already that person has done something to me, so I say, oh, I am very, very thankful to you. That person is very pleased. That person blesses us with so much of joy. Similarly, this yajna is nothing but to say thank you, to express our gratitude towards the devatas, towards rishi munis, towards our ancestors. Just express the thank you. And also doing seva of the people around and the animal birds out of gratitude. These plants, animals, birds, they also bless us. But if we do it with expectation, with an eye on the result, then that is rajasic karma. Then it will become a kamya karma, desire prompted activity, desire prompted yajna, and it will be rajasic in nature. Then there is this tamasic yajna, even lower than rajasic is tamasic. Bhagavan says in the next verse, Vidihinam ashrushtannam mantrahinam adakshinam shraddha virahitam yajnam tamasam parichakshate. Bhagavan says, such yajnas are called tamasic yajna, which are done vidihinam, which doesn't follow any prescribed procedure. Vidihinam, without paying attention to the proper procedure mentioned in the Shastra, which one has learned through the tradition. One doesn't disregard that procedure and does whatever is yajna, shraddha virahitam, without any shraddha, without having that faith that the gods are there, the devatas are there, the rishi munis are there, who are blessing us, the ancestors were there. No shraddha, without shraddha, and without also the accompanying the rituals are there. When we do a traditional yajna, then with that also one should give anna, food and all to be given to the brahmanas, to the wise people, to others. Brahmanebhyo na shrishtam na dattam annam yasmin yajne ashrushtannam. So when a yajna is performed according to the procedure given in the Vedas, so after the yajna, one has to offer food to the brahmanas, and also give dakshina to the purohit, dakshina to our teacher. So mantrahinam, adakshinam, but one doesn't offer any dakshina, nor do one chant the mantras properly without proper swara and varna. The mantras are not chanted properly, or wrong mantras are chanted at the wrong time. In certain rituals, one has to chant the mantras and offer the ahutis. So those mantras are not chanted properly, dakshinas are not given, and no shraddha, no proper faith. So if one does such ritual, see, those who don't have faith and all, they will not do this ritual at all. But even if they do, then they will do it very badly, wrongly. Means they will not offer their gratitude towards the devatas, they will not offer their gratitude towards their own parents. See, you see such tamasic people, they are so ungrateful to their own parents and their grandparents. You see, every day you hear about such horrible thing people do. When their parents become old and all, sometimes they just take them in their car and drop them on the way somewhere and come back home. Such horrible thing they do. Or they will tell them, they will take them to some Tirtha Yatra and they will just drop them at the Tirtha Kshetra and come home. And their poor parents, they don't know, they will ask, oh, my children had come here and I don't know where they have gone. And they remain there. Here in Vrindavan also, so many elderly ammas are there who have been dropped. Many of them are dropped by their own children. So, not taking care of our own parents, not taking care of our grandparents. Forget about even they don't do any shraddha and all for the ancestors. Such people, not what you call taking, offering, expressing their gratitude toward the Rishi Munis, the Devatas. We get constantly so many things from a Devata. The sun, without the sun, we will not survive for a second. But these people never fold their hand, look at the sunrise and do namaskar to the sun. They never fold their hand towards the Agni Devata and do namaskar to the Agni Devata. They never do namaskar to the wind which is blowing, which is giving us oxygen because of which we survive. They never do namaskar to the earth which is keeping us on itself. We can live on earth and do our work. So expression of our gratitude. Even if we don't know the exact ritual and procedure, we can express our gratitude. That is important. See, there's some videos I have seen where people, they rescue some animals. A dog fallen into a well and they put forth effort to go down and pick up the dog and rescue. Even that dog looks at that rescuer with so much of gratitude in his eyes. Thank you so much. If you were not there, I would have been dead. So they express the gratitude. Even animals know the value of gratitude. That expressing our gratitude is that yajna which Bhagavan is talking about here. And doing whatever we can as a seva of all of them. The Devata, the Rishis, the ancestors, our parents, other human beings, other animals. That is the yajna. If we do it regularly, it will become our second nature. And when we have this, it will definitely purify our mind. We will become fit to attain that moksha. Otherwise, we will be bound, because if we are indebted to them, then the nature will not allow us to become free. Just as we take loan and all, then those bank and all those people come after us कि हमारा पैसे वापस दे दो. They will not allow us to go anywhere. If we want to run out of this country, they will block our passport and all. Some people still run away, still the government and the law goes after them. Similarly, if we are indebted to this all these forces, they will not allow us to gain moksha. जैसे हमारा ऐसे becoming ungrateful, you want to become free. Without our help, you want to become. We are cursing them and want to take help of them only. We are not grateful to our own senses, our mind, our intellect, and we want to take the help of mind, intellect, senses to gain moksha. We don't express our gratitude towards our ancestors, towards the Rishi Munis, and want to learn the scriptures. It will not happen like that. The scriptures will get blocked. We will not understand. We will not comprehend it. So vidhihinam ashrishtanam. So those without following proper vidhi, without offering food and towards the brahmanas and others, without chanting the mantras properly, without giving dakshina, without having faith, if they do whatever karma, yajna karma or other karma, without faith, without proper procedure, it will never give the desired result, and it will not be good only. It is tamasic. It is tamasic parichakshate. So this yajna is very important, and every day. So when we do this yajna, we become, our mind becomes pure, and also we become free of our krodha. That frustration which is there. Krodha is a type of frustration, type of impatience. We feel something, I am not getting something. But when you offer this gratitude, you will feel a deep sense of goodness in your heart. And whatever is required will come miraculously in our life. We just have to express our gratitude, and the world will bless us. All the ancestors, devatas, everyone will bless us and make our life beautiful. So when we do this regularly, every day, develop that attitude of yajna, that negativity of krodha, and other negativities also will drop. Even if we cannot do elaborate yajna, even chanting Bhagwan's name and remembering the Rishi Munis, chanting their name and offering our namaskar itself will be a great yajna. Yajnanam japa yajñosmi. Bhagwan has said, among all the yajnas, japa yajna is my vibhuti. So even if we cannot do the whole elaborate puja, we can just chant Bhagwan's name and do namaskar. Chant his 108 names and do namaskar. Chant 1000 name of Bhagwan and do namaskar. Chant the name of these devatas and do namaskar. Indraya swaha idan namaha. Indraya namaha. Prajapataye namaha. Do namaskar to the sun, the moon, the stars, the wind, the Agni, the Vanaspati. That itself will be our expression of our gratitude. Do namaskar to your own parents and do that seva without expecting anything. even if they are, even they are not, they may not be giving anything to you now. They have given a lot. They might have become old now, cannot walk. Huh? Do that seva. Because when you were little, they had done a lot of seva of you. They had taken care of you. Now that they have become old, don't just drop them. Don't be ungrateful. Because if you are ungrateful, you will not be born as a human being again for a long, long time. Will be some animal, bird, some snake or some virus or some bacteria for a long time. So one should express one's gratitude towards all these creatures, towards all these beings. That is yajna. Okay? So make the yajna more and more sattvic. So with sattvic shraddha, one should eat sattvic food and do sattvic yajna. Further, Bhagavan will talk about tapas and dana. So that also we should do sattvic tapas and sattvic dana. So about that we will see in our next class. So tomorrow is Saturday, then Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday we will have holidays, no classes. We will resume our classes from Monday. So 2 days chutti for you. But you should not just become lazy. You contemplate on what you have heard. Listen to the videos which you have missed, or listen to them again which you may not have comprehended properly. Share the videos with your friends, your relatives in various groups. That will be like our gratitude to the rishis. And we shall meet again on Monday. I will give some questions which you contemplate on those questions and reply, and we shall meet on Monday to continue with our studies. Okay? So, Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Boli Syavar Ramachandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.